Story 1. The Strange Man on the Fourth Floor. It was the summer of 2012, and Sam had just moved into her first apartment in downtown Chicago. Nothing fancy, just a tiny studio on the fourth floor of a rundown brick building that had clearly seen better days. But to her, it was freedom. No more roommates, no more curfews, just her sketchbook, and a bunch of plants she was trying desperately not to kill. She'd been there for maybe 3 weeks when she first noticed him. The man from the apartment across the hall. She never saw him leave, never saw him enter. He was just there. Every time she opened her door, whether it was morning, afternoon, or the middle of the night, his door was cracked open. Just a sliver, enough to make you feel watched, enough to make your skin crawl. But Sam told herself not to be paranoid. Maybe he was just weird. Maybe the door didn't close properly. The building was old, after all. That's what she told herself, until the packages started arriving. Small boxes. No names, no labels. Just neatly stacked outside her door each morning. The first one had a paper crane inside. The second had a single Polaroid of her apartment door, taken from the hallway. The third, a lock of hair. Sam didn't sleep that night. She triple-locked her door, pushed her dresser in front of it, and sat on the floor with a kitchen knife and her phone in her hand. Screen dimmed, volume off, ready to call 911. But nothing happened. The next morning, the boxes stopped. For 3 days, silence. She told her friends, told the building manager, even told the cops. They shrugged it off. No threats, no cameras, no evidence. And besides, the guy across the hall, he didn't even exist. Apartment 4B was listed as vacant. No tenant on file. No rent payments, nothing. But Sam knew what she saw. She started leaving her phone on record when she slept, just in case. And on the fourth night, it caught something. At 3:12 a.m., the sound of soft footsteps. A gentle knock. Then the click of her lock, turning and stopping, like someone was trying to open the door, but couldn't. The next morning, she went to the door and found a new package. Inside, her own house key wrapped in a red ribbon. That's when she called her cousin Alex, who worked security downtown. He didn't ask questions, just came over, helped her move out that same day. But before they left, he insisted on checking the apartment across the hall. Just once, the door, as always, was slightly open. Alex pushed it in, and what they saw, the entire place was empty, except for one thing. In the center of the room, on the floor, was a photo album. Every page filled with candid pictures of Sam, walking to the store, taking the trash out, sleeping in her bed. And on the last page, a Polaroid of Sam and Alex, taken that morning. They never found the man. No fingerprints, no name, no clue how he got in or out. But Sam never lived alone again. And to this day, every time she walks into a new apartment, the first thing she checks is whether the door across the hall is open. Just a crack. Story 2. She'd been missing for 20 years. Until the door opened. It was a quiet Wednesday morning in June when Deputy Laura Martinez got the call. Possible intruder, 1142 Oak Ridge Lane. Elderly male reports noises from the basement. Nothing unusual. Most calls in that part of the county were false alarms. Raccoons in the attic, pipes banging, shadows playing tricks on old eyes. She drove out casually, radio humming, half a bagel still in her mouth. But as soon as she pulled up, something felt off. The house was isolated. Faded yellow paint, overgrown lawn, a wooden porch that sagged in the middle. An old man stood waiting in the doorway, pale and jittery, clutching a cup of tea with both hands. "I heard her again," he whispered. "She cries at night. I tried to follow the sound, but the door, it's locked again." Lavra, trying not to spook him, asked calmly. "Who do you think it is, sir?" "My daughter," he said, without blinking. "But she died 20 years ago." Lavra had seen grief play strange tricks on people. Hallucinations, dreams that felt real. The man, Henry Walsh, was 83, widowed, and had lived alone since his wife's passing in '09. But something about his gaze, it was too clear, too sure. She asked to see the basement. He nodded and led her to a narrow wooden door behind the kitchen. "It's always locked," he said, "even though I never locked it." She tested the handle. It turned easily. Lights didn't work, so she pulled out her flashlight. The basement was dry, dust thick, silent. She swept the beam around. Old furniture, paint cans, a broken treadmill, and then a faint thud behind a second door, tucked behind a curtain of cobwebs. It looked like it had been sealed for years. Lavra called for backup, just in case. When another unit arrived, they pried the door open. What they found shouldn't have been possible. A room, insulated, soundproofed, and in the corner, a woman, curled up, eyes squinting against the light, hair long and tangled. "Help," she whispered. "Please, is he gone?" She was dehydrated, starving, but alive. And when they brought her to the hospital, ran the DNA, checked the records, there it was. Her name, Emily Walsh, reported missing in June 1992. Last seen outside this very house. She was 27 when she vanished. And she was still 27. She hadn't aged a day. Doctors, scientists, everyone tried to understand. But the tests showed one thing again and again. Her body was. Story 3. The red tent in the woods. Ben, 19, had never really been the camping type. But when his best friend Tyler suggested a weekend in the northern Michigan woods, no phones, no signal, just a fire, a lake, and some beers, he figured, why not? College had been stressful, and his breakup wasn't exactly subtle. So yeah, nature sounded good. They drove out on a Friday afternoon, past the last gas station for miles, and arrived just before sunset. The spot Tyler picked was perfect, flat, remote, and quiet. Just the two of them, surrounded by trees that whispered like waves in the wind. They pitched their tent, cooked some hot dogs, told dumb stories by the fire, and by midnight were already buzzed and laughing too loud. That's when Ben saw it. A red tent. Maybe 60 meters away, tucked behind some trees. "You invited someone else?" he asked. Tyler squinted. "What are you talking about?" Ben pointed. Tyler turned, but the tent was gone. Just trees, darkness. "You're drunk, man," Tyler laughed. "Or you just saw a deer with a backpack," Ben chuckled. Maybe he was tired. But something about that flash of red, it felt wrong. Too vivid, too clean. The next day, while Tyler fished by the lake, Ben took a walk. Not far, just stretching his legs, he told himself. But his feet pulled him deeper, into the trees. And after maybe 10 minutes of walking, there it was again. The red tent, this time fully visible, standing perfectly alone in a small clearing. Brand new, no signs of wear, not even dirt on the base. Ben called out, no answer. He stepped closer. The flap was zipped shut, but something inside him screamed not to touch it. He turned and walked away. Fast. That night, the woods felt different. The air heavier. The fire didn't seem as warm. Tyler noticed it too. "Feels like something's watching," he muttered. Ben almost told him. Almost. But then he heard it. A zip. Far off, but clear. Like someone slowly opening a tent flap. Then footsteps. Light. Careful. Coming closer. Tyler grabbed a flashlight and shone it into the dark. Nothing. Just trees. But the sound continued. Crunch. Crunch. Closer. They got in their tent. Zipped it up. Waited. At some point, they fell asleep or passed out from fear. Morning came. Sunlight made everything feel silly again, until they saw the footprints around their tent, circling, dozens of prints, bare feet, small, like a child's. But no kids were out here, no camps nearby. Tyler wanted to leave. Ben agreed. But when they packed up and walked to the trailhead, something stopped them. The red tent, it was back, right in the middle of the path. Just sitting there, still zipped shut. No wind, no movement. Tyler, against all logic, stepped forward. Maybe it's someone who needs help, he said. Ben shook his head. Then let's call for help. Not open it, but there was no signal. No bars, just silence. Tyler called out. No answer, so he did it. He grabbed the zipper, pulled, nothing inside, just dirt, but it was too perfect. No debris, no insects, just a clean, flat space. Like something had just left. Tyler zipped it back up. Let's go, he said. Now, they practically ran. Didn't stop until they were back in the car, doors locked, engine on. That night, Ben couldn't sleep. He kept picturing the tent, that flash of red, that impossibly clean interior. And when he closed his eyes, he could hear it. The zip, slow, right outside. He opened the blinds, nothing. But on his porch, a tent, red, folded, with a note. Next time, open it. He called Tyler. Tyler didn't answer. When Ben drove to his house the next morning, Tyler's car was still in the driveway. The front door was wide open. No sign of him. No struggle. Just his keys. And a red tent bag by the bed. Ben called the police. They searched the woods. Found nothing. No footprints. No campsite. No gear. Just a single clearing with one thing left behind. A Polaroid photo. Ben and Tyler, asleep in their tent. Taken from the trees. Ben moved 2 weeks later. Never camped again. And every year, on the same weekend, a red tent appears on his porch. He doesn't open it. Not anymore.